Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Kunja Bihari
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Yashodanandana Vrajjana Ranjana
Yashodanandana
Yashodanandana Vrajjana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
So we're reading from Canto 10, Chapter 11, verses 28 to 32. Are we sharing the verses?
No.
Or should we just read it out? Okay. Okay, so this is verse 28. Vanam Vrindavanam Nama Pashavyam Navakananam Gopa Gopi Kavam Sevyam Punyadri Trinavirudham. Translation: between Nandeshwar and Mahavan is a place named Vrindavan. This place is very suitable because it is lush with grass, plants and creepers for the cows and other animals. It has nice gardens and tall mountains and is full of facilities for the happiness of all the gopas and gopis and our animals. Purport: Vrindavan is situated between Nandeshwar and Mahavan. Formerly, the cowherd men had shifted to Mahavan, but still there were disturbances. And therefore, the cowherd men selected Vrindavan, which was between the two villages, and decided to go there. Verse 29. Tat tatra deva yasyamaha shakatan yuktam machiram bodhanani agrito yantu bhavatam yadi rochate. Therefore, let us immediately go today. There is no need to wait any further. If you agree to my proposal, let us prepare all the bullock carts and put the cows in front of us and let us go there. Verse 30. Tachrutvaika diyogopa sadhu sadhavitivadinaha Vrajan swan swan samayujya yayurudha parichadaha. Upon hearing this advice from Upananda, the cowherd men unanimously agreed. Very nice, they said. Very nice. Thus they sorted out their household affairs, placed their clothing and other paraphernalia on the carts, and immediately started for Vrindavan. 31 and 32. Vridhan balam striyorajan sarvopakarnani cha anasav aropya gopala yata ata sharasanaha bodhanani puraskritya shringani apurya sarvatah turya ghoshena mahata yayusaha purohitaha. Keeping all the old men, women and children keeping all the old men, women, children, and household paraphernalia on the bullock carts, and keeping all the cows in front, the cowherd men picked up their bows and arrows with great care and sounded bugles made of horn. O King Parikshit, in this way, with bugles vibrating all around, the cowherd men, accompanied by their fleece, began their journey. Purport. In this connection, it is to be noted that although the inhabitants of Gokul were mostly cowherd men and cultivators, they knew how to defend themselves from danger and how to give protection to the women, old men, cows, children, as well as to the Brahminical Purohits. Omagyantimirandhasya Dhyananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurun Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhamvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhaiva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishna Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prachayane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashtya Videshatayane. So welcome everyone to our Bhagavatam class. I seek the blessings of all our assembled Vaishnavas, especially our senior devotees. This place Adipurush Prabhu, Arjuna Prabhu is somewhere at the Bhakti Center right now. All those joined online as well. So we are at a very interesting point in the life of Krishna right now discussing. Krishna's pastimes are eternal and they're sweet and wonderful. And right now we see that in this sweetness, sometimes some disturbances are caused because of demons. So in Gokul, many demons would try to come and attack Krishna. And in Gokul, everyone loves Krishna a lot. Like he's always the center of all discussion, all topics. And in Gokul, so far, where he has stayed. So basically, Krishna, he spent almost around up to 3.5 years of his manifest pastimes on this earth at Gokul. And from there, he moves to Vrindavan, about which we'll be discussing today. And he was at Vrindavan till he was around between 6 to 7 years. And then he goes to Nandagaon. So in Vrindavan, in Gokul, we see that he manifested a lot of Vatsalya Bhav. The Vatsalya Bhav in Gokul is very intense because he's still a baby over there. All the pastimes primarily happen in the house because as a baby, as a child, you're primarily in the house being taken care of your parents. And in Vrindavan, he displayed more of Poganda pastimes, boyhood pastimes. In Nandagaon, we see he does more esoteric, Kishore pastimes, more youthful pastimes with Shri Radha and the gopis. So, here we see that Upananda is he's got like this whole gathering of all the Gopas, and Upananda is saying he's the eldest brother of Nanda Baba. There were 5 brothers, he's the eldest one. That because of so many demons, we are facing actually 2 problems. Our bhajan, our sadhana is not happening properly. Disturbances means mentally we are disturbed because if there's some external problems happening, we are not able to do our bhajan properly. Most importantly, Krishna, we need to protect him because all the demons somehow they just come to keep attacking Krishna. So even Chanakya Pandit says that we should not stay in a place where 5 things are not there. Means of livelihood, security, sense of shame, courtesy, and philanthropy. So if these 5 things, any of these 5 things basically are not there, then it is okay to leave that place and shift to another place where these will be there. So security was an important thing over here for them to consider, to leave Vrindavan, because so many demons, Putana, then Shaktasur, Trinavrat, and then just some days back, this Yamala Arjun, these 2 twin trees, they had fallen. So, I mean, they feel that they need to protect Krishna, although Krishna is the one who's ultimately protecting everyone, but this is their mood. And so he's telling that Vrindavan is the place where we should be going, because not only is it good for Krishna's protection, but Krishna will also find a lot of pleasure over there. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes in his commentary to this verse that it is actually Krishna who is inspiring Upananda to give this idea that now we should move from Gokul to Vrindavan. Because Krishna has now finished, Krishna is thinking that I have finished all my baby pastimes. I'm now growing up. So I need to go to Vrindavan where I can start my next set of pastimes, my boyhood pastimes. And actually, if we see, Krishna is the one who inspires us to do everything. In essence, it is his calling from within, that his sanction from within, because of which we do everything. Some people say that, oh, you know what, these Mughal rulers, they had attacked Vrindavan so many times, so many deities got destroyed. This Krishna is not even able to protect himself. How is he going to protect us? But they don't understand that this is all happening by the will of Krishna. It was Krishna's will that he in his deity form, he leaves Vrindavan. He goes to Jaipur, he goes to Nathdwara, where currently a lot of deities are there, which were originally in Vrindavan. Because we have the most famous Radha Govinda temple in Jaipur. Daily thousands of people come over there. At Nathdwara, we have Srinathji, the deity that was discovered by Srila Madhavendra Puri. He's now at Nathdwara. And thousands upon thousands of people come there to take darshan, which would not maybe have been possible in Vrindavan. But because they are in these cities, it's all because Krishna wanted to reciprocate with the feelings of the devotion, the sentiments of devotion, the love that the people of Jaipur, Nathdwara, they have for him. So he willingly leaves Vrindavan for devotees. So anyway, so all that is happening by the will of Krishna. And Upananda is now telling in the first verse that we discussed, verse 28, he's telling them about Vrindavan, because it like these are cowherd men, but they're also very intelligent. Just like we have, if I'm supposed to take someone from one place to another, if I'm telling them that, okay, now I want to take you to say this place, I'm going to describe something about this place. I'm going to tell, oh, this place is historically important, or these are the scenic spots you'll find over here. Kind of like to induce the other person to go to the next place, because it's a big shift. Okay. So he's telling them that it's beautiful because, it has beautiful trees, mountains, rivers, everything. And most importantly, there are 3 things over there which always give pleasure to Krishna. It is the forest of Vrindavan, Govardhan, and Yamuna. And these 3 are dear to Krishna because they're also dear to Radharani. Because it is mentioned in Garga Samhita that when Krishna was about to, he was going to appear in this material world. At that time, Shri Radha is feeling intense separation. She's like, how am I going to live without you, all these days in your separation, because you'll be in the material world. So Krishna is like, you can also come with me. But Radharani is like, I can't go to any place where Vrindavan, Govardhan, and Yamuna are not. So instantly, Krishna, he sent a portion of his spiritual world, 84 kosh, 84 square mile portion of his spiritual world onto this material world on planet Earth, which we call as Brajmandal now in Uttar Pradesh in India. And he even sent Govardhan and Yamuna over there. And although there is in Garga Samhita, it's written by Garga Muni, Gargacharya, who is the family priest of Vasudev. So he has written this Garga Samhita, and in that Garga Samhita, it describes a lot of the pastimes of Lord Krishna. And in Garga Samhita, it is mentioned in Canto 2, Chapter 1, where Garga Muni is quoting Upananda, actually Sanananda, another brother of Nanda Baba, that why we should be going to Vrindavan. So all this is not mentioned in Bhagavatam, but in Garga Samhita, a lot more details are given, which are very sweet pastimes of Krishna, sweet pastimes of Vrindavan. So in that, in Garga Samhita, Nanda Baba is asking Sananand that you are telling that we should move to Vrindavan, but what is special about Vrindavan? So Sananand is telling a story. He tells that at one point of time, this all Narad Muni had told him. So at one point of time, Lord Brahma, he had crowned Prayagraj. Prayagraj was known as Allahabad previously. It's called Prayag because it's the place where the rivers Ganga, Yamuna, and Saraswati where they meet. So Prayagraj was crowned once the king of all holy places, Tirthraj. Okay, the Raja, the king of all holy places. And since he's Tirthraj, all the holy places come and offer their obeisances, homages to him. But then Narad Muni comes, okay, to Prayag. And he's known to put in some point here and there, which kind of like creates some discord sometimes. So Narad Muni is like, all the holy places have come and offered their obeisances unto you. But I believe Mathura Mandal, Brajdham, that place hasn't come and offered obeisances unto you, because holy places are like personalities. Okay, we have to understand that these are places for us, but actually they are persons who expand in their form as a place or as a thing that we see. So he's like, Brajmandal has not come and offered obeisances unto you. I don't know why. So Prayagraj is like very angry. He's like, yeah, Brajmandal has not come and offered obeisances unto me. So he goes straight to Lord Hari, Krishna, Vishnu. And he's like, see, you crowned me king of all the holy places, and Brajmandal has not come and offered the obeisance. He's almost like complaining, to Lord Hari. How come Brajmandal has not offered obeisances? And here this reply, okay, of Lord Vishnu. It's in text 40 to 42. So this Lord Hari, he is saying, O Tirthraj, I have made you king of all holy places on earth, but I have not made you king of my home. No, why? As if you wish to become the place where I live, do you speak in this mad way? He's almost like calling Prayagraj, you're mad or what? Why will Brajmandal come and offer obeisances to you? O king of holy places, hear my auspicious words and return to your home. Mathura Mandal is my home. It is my transcendental abode above all the three worlds. At the time of cosmic devastation, it is not destroyed. So Prayagraj came to his senses, and the master of holy places on earth, not of the total spiritual planet, which is Golok Vrindavan, which is eternally the home of Krishna. And then, so this is like telling the importance of Brajmandal, that it's never going to be destroyed. It is above all material considerations. And then Sananand tells another story that Varahadev was carrying Mother Earth. So we know the pastime that Hiranyaksha had taken Mother Earth and he had put Earth in the cosmic ocean. Okay, and there was a fight between Varahadev and Hiranyaksha, and Varahadev defeated Hiranyaksha, and he was taking Mother Earth on his tusks. So at that time, Bhumi Devi, Mother Earth, she asks Varahadev that, my dear Varahadev, my dear Lord, where are you going to place me? I just see water everywhere. Which place will you put me? So Varahadev is like, whenever you see trees coming up, at that place I will put you, where the trees are coming up. So Bhumi Devi is very stunned. She's like, I am the resting place of all trees. All immobile entities are on me. What are the steady places there? And then while she's saying this, she suddenly looks ahead and she sees that there are very beautiful divine trees ahead somewhere, coming up from there's some land over there. And they're so beautiful. They're so stunning. They're divine actually. And her pride is already broken a bit. She's like, oh, she thought that she was the resting place of all immovable living entities. And she asked Varahadev, what is this place? Where are these trees coming from? All trees are supposed to be on me. Where is these trees apart from me? And Varahadev tells her that, oh, beautiful one, you see transcendental Mathura Mandal, which is part of the realm of Golok, and it is not destroyed at the time of cosmic manifestation. So this is the glories of Vrindavan Dham. It is completely spiritual. There is no tinge of material aspect in it at all. So we discussed first about Vrindavan. Now just a little bit I want to tell about Govardhan. Govardhan is, in Vrindavan it's mentioned here in verse 28, Punyadri. Okay, so Punyadri could refer to Nandeshwar mountain, or it could even refer to Govardhan. Actually, in the whole Braj Mandal, there are three important mountains, okay, which are the manifestations of the three Gun avatars, Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh. Okay, so Shiva is present in Braj-dham as Nandeshwar mountain, on which Nandagram is situated. Vishnu is there in the form of Govardhan, and Brahmaji, he's in the form of Brahmachal or Brahmagiri, and it's on that Barsana is situated on Brahmagiri mountain. So all of them are Punyadris, all of them are very pious mountains because they are actually Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. And Govardhan has also come in this material world because Radharani wanted Govardhan to be in this material world. And there is a very nice pastime that Pulastya Rishi once wanted to take Govardhan to Banaras, to Kashi, what you call Varanasi, because he sees the beauty of Vrindavan, that there are beautiful caves, beautiful trees, abundant with fruits, creepers, vines. There are deer, peacocks, and the call of these deer and peacocks is so divine that just by hearing the sounds of these deer and peacocks, we'll get liberated, which are there on Govardhan. So he wants to take Govardhan to Banaras. And at that time, sages were very powerful enough. They could carry mountains. This is long time back when sages were actually, Brahmins were actually Brahmins. So at that time, so he picks up the Govardhan mountain on his hand, and he is flying in the sky and wanting to take him to Banaras. But while they're flying in the sky, Govardhan looks down and he sees Braj Mandal. And he's like, this is the place where I'm supposed to be, not in Banaras. This is the place where my Lord Krishna is going to come. He's going to perform so many pastimes on my form, on my mountain. So he becomes so heavy that Pulastya Rishi is forced to keep the mountain down for, to take his breath. He keeps Govardhan on Braj Mandal. And before they fly out in the sky, Govardhan had told Pulastya Rishi that, see, if you keep me down on the earth, that's the place where I will be. I'm not going to move an inch from there. So he kept him in Braj Mandal. And Pulastya Rishi is now trying to pick him up again. Get up, we have to go to Banaras, And Govardhan is like, nothing doing, I'm going to be here. And so Pulastya Rishi actually gets very angry and he curses Govardhan that because you're not listening to me daily, by the size of a sesame seed is very small, you're going to go inside the earth little by little. But Govardhan is fine. He's like, Krishna is going to come on me. Krishna is going to be there for me, so it doesn't matter. So till date, if you see daily, this curses, you can still see, like originally Govardhan is like very, very huge. He's like maybe probably even bigger than the earth. But because of this curse, now we see that he's occupying a certain portion of Braj Mandal only. And then about Yamuna, we see that the third reason why Radharani came is Yamuna. So we see the glories of Yamuna are also mentioned in chapter 3 of Garga Samhita, where there's a very beautiful conversation that happens between Ganga and Yamuna, in which Ganga is like really glorifying Yamuna. They're like almost like sisters, because in Garga Samhita, I mean, even I just came to know this when I was doing some research, that Yamuna Devi has actually come from the left shoulder of Krishna, and obviously we do know that Ganga has come from the feet of Vishnu. So in one sense, They both have come from Vishnu, so they're like sisters. But yet Ganga is glorifying, Mother Ganga is glorifying Yamuna Devi, that you are very, very dear. Dark Yamuna, you're very dear, you're very fortunate. You're considered like the first queen of Krishna. You're fully transcendental. You're fully pure bliss. You're perfect, you're complete. And you purify all the universes. I'm purifying only this one universe, but you purify all the universes. And so, in this way, she's like, you are so rare and you're so powerful that holy places and demigods, even they find it difficult to attain. Even in Golok itself, sometimes it's difficult for devotees to attain. Imagine, this is how great Yamuna is. So anyways, by the grace of Radharani, we have Vrindavan, we have Govardhan, we have Yamuna all present on this earth. And I would just and just like to mention something about a very special thing about Vrindavan, and that is known as Udipan. Okay, I'm not sure if many of you have heard of what Udipan is, but Udipan, it's something special about Krishna's pastimes and places. Udipan are basically those things because of which it causes the Lord to perform his leelas. Like for example, Krishna is Leela Purushottam. He doesn't actually need, he can perform all leelas by himself, but yet, when you're performing a pastime, you need some inspiration. Okay. So like the Udipan for Ras Leela is the moon. Now we're going to celebrate Sharad Purnima soon, within a week's time. Okay. So that is the day when Maharas happens. And what inspired Krishna to call the gopis, to call everyone and do a Maharas dance? When he sees the moon, the full moon that's out there, it inspires him. So the moon is the Udipan. Okay, this is just for your knowledge, and it's important that we know all these Udipan. Like the Udipan for him to perform his boyhood pastimes is actually Govardhan. It's Yamuna, it's the forest, it's the animals over there. And that is why we see that Krishna's glorification is incomplete unless we glorify these Udipan, these causes of inspiration to Krishna to perform his pastimes. We've seen all these texts, like even if you read this text, like Upanad, he's describing the beautiful places. He's describing, we have Punyadari mountains, we have these rivers, we have these trees and this, that, everything. He's doing exactly that as a Vrajvasi, he's teaching us what we are supposed to do. We are supposed to glorify the Vraj dust, the Vraj grass, the moon, the river, everything over there. And then we can glorify Krishna completely. Without glorifying the Udipan, the items which inspire him, the personalities actually that inspire him, our glorification of Krishna is actually incomplete. So this is just something that I wanted to, just share with you, that surrendering to Vrindavan is also surrendering to these Udipan and glorifying, understanding their exalted position. So we'll go ahead in our discussion. That Upananda is saying that, we're supposed to go to Vrindavan now. And it's very interesting that they leave immediately. Okay, they start packing all the things. And it's not an easy thing, you just pack all your belongings in just one day and just get ready to leave. It's almost like uprooting your whole life you have set in one place and go in another place. It's not easy, but just for Krishna, they're willing to do that. And it's very interesting where the place in Vrindavan where they actually go, it's known today as a place called Chatikara. Chatikara is the place where they actually stop. And it's called Chatikara. It's actually called Shaktikara. Shakti means because all the carts, Shakat. Okay, there was a demon called Shaktasur. Shakat means cart. So Shakatikara. Kara means circle or half circle. Okay. So initially when they went to Vrindavan, all these bullock carts, Shakatas, what Nanda Baba done is he had placed them as circles, and in between the circle, the families, Krishna, they all were staying so as to protect them while they were building houses. So that is why the place where they stopped and all the bullock carts were formed as circles or as semicircles, that place came to be known as Shakatikara, which is now known as Chatikara. With time, some words, they changed the pronunciation. So Chatikara is still a very famous place today at Vrindavan. It's very famous for Garud Govind temple over there. It's another pastime. I'm not going to go in that. Vrindavan's glories are so unlimited. There are so many pastimes in each place. It's like you can just give classes upon classes upon it. So, anyways, so we see here that it's very sweet. We see that the mood of protection of the Vrajvasis towards Krishna and Balram is very, very high. It's very deep. You know, Krishna Swarat, he's independent. He's the protector of everyone. And yet, the mood of the Vrajvasis, you know, like Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Avajananti Mamuda Manusham Tanamashritam. You know, like the fools deride me when I descend in a human form. So, but then we see that these Vrajvasis, they never accepted Krishna as God. But it wasn't because they denied the existence of God, it's because their spontaneous love for Krishna was so high. They're actually transcendentally very, very intelligent. They are actually the most intelligent beings, the most perfected beings. And that is why their love for Krishna was so deep, so spontaneous. That's why they could never understand that he's God. And obviously the Yogamaya potency had covered them because this is what they wanted. So we see that all the Brajvasis, they were very protective towards him. And whenever any discussion would happen, whether it was at Gokul or Vrindavan or Nandagaon, always their discussion was on the different pastimes of Krishna. Krishna was always the topic. They would come to discuss something else and they would end up discussing about Krishna and his pastimes. So this is how the mood of the Vrajvasis is. It's very deeply saturated with love for Krishna. And we see that they are very worried about Krishna and Balram, you know, that Upananda is particularly saying that we need to go to Vrindavan because Vrindavan, unlike Mahavan, they will have no disturbances. But we see that Krishna always, actually wherever disturbances are there, Krishna will always appear over there. Krishna appeared in the form of Bhagavad Gita when the biggest disturbance was going to happen, a huge war was about to take place. And he came there, and he came in the form of Bhagavad Gita to dispel away this disturbance in the mind of Arjun and in the minds for all of us for all time to come. Even he came as Bhagavatam. When Parikshit Maharaj was in a very trying situation, it was a lot of disturbance. Like, you're going to die in 7 days. What bigger disturbance than that can it be? You know for sure you're going to die in 7 days. And so Krishna comes in the form of Bhagavatam at that time, and he relieves Parikshit Maharaj of any disturbances that he would have had. And you know, he's relieving us of our pains, of our miseries, of our disturbances till date. So this is the mercy of Krishna, that we have to realize that at the end of the day, any disturbance, any problem is the only Krishna is the solution. His devotional service, his holy name, his holy dham, they are the only solution to any disturbance that can come in our life. Okay, and Krishna, he says Paritamaya sadhunam vinashayata dushkritam. So he's promising us that whenever there is any irreligious acts happening, whenever there are any disturbances, he will come. And most importantly, he's also telling Arjun through the Bhagavad Gita that you promise, you give this promise to everyone, you tell everyone that my devotees will never perish. This is the promise that Krishna is giving everyone. So we see that in this verse, I just want to summarize and end now for some Q&A and reflections. We see that how wonderfully Vrindavan is described in these verses. It's Upananda is telling very nicely that we should be going to Vrindavan. Actually, we can't buy a ticket to Vrindavan, and we can't even see Vrindavan through our material eyes. We have to see Vrindavan through the eyes of our predecessor acharyas. We have to see Krishna through the eyes of devotional service, through the eyes of realized devotees who have realized Vrindavan in its true Sachidanand form. And how can we do this? It's, you know, like staying in New York City, how is this possible? But we can do this by listening regularly to Bhagavad Gita, to Bhagavatam, because wherever Krishna, wherever Prabhupada, wherever Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita is there, that place is Vrindavan. We have a Vrindavan right over here, because Vrindavan is a state also of consciousness. Vrindavan is supposed to be in your heart, in your mind, in your consciousness. It should be a place where you want to go again and again. And if you physically can't go there, at least in your mind and your consciousness, you should be able to go there. And it's thanks to Prabhupada. He left Vrindavan to give us Vrindavan. He could have stayed over there. Vrindavan is so beautifully described in the Shastra. He stayed over there. In fact, through the blessings of great acharyas like Rupa Goswami, he used to always have his meals in front of Rupa Goswami Samadhi at Radha Damodar temple. If any one of you have been there, you know that there is a window over there in which through the room where he used to have his meals, he would always be seeing Rupa Goswami's Samadhi, and used to continuously pray to Rupa Goswami that give me the empowerment so I can go to the Western countries and give Vrindavan to other people. And Rupa Goswami blessed him. So even when we go to Vrindavan, we need to take shelter of the 6 Goswamis. And some of them written very beautiful bhajans. I was just reading Vrindavan Ashtakam. It's such a beautiful bhajan by Rupa Goswami. It's in the Stavamala. And Stavamala is like a series. It's a series of songs and bhajans which are written by Rupa Goswami. So that Vrindavan Ashtakam is there. So we have to take shelter of our acharyas. We have to take shelter of Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. Most importantly, shelter of Prabhupada. He is the Vrajvasi who's come in our life to give us Vrindavan. So we have to take his shelter. So I will just conclude over here that just keep calm and run to Vrindavan. So I'm open now to any questions, reflections, comments, if anyone has.
You said
Yes, Evan.
You said
Hey, the cameras.
this is a
People can hear you. 20 people.
They can hear me.
Okay.
It was just a clarification. I wasn't sure about. So they were in Gokul, and then they went to Mahavan, and then they went to Vrindavan.
Gokul is in Mahavan.
Okay.
So there are 12 forests, of which Mahavan is one of them. 12 primary forests. There are many Upavans, means other forests also. But in Mahavan, Gokul is there. So the first place where Krishna came from Mathura as a child is Gokul Mahavan.
Okay.
And then he goes to Vrindavan.
Okay.
And then he goes to Nandagaon at different stages after a gap of 3 years, kind of. Wow, it's so quiet. I don't believe it.
I have a question, Nirvika. Can you hear me?
Great.
You were describing so wonderfully how Vrindavan is a state of consciousness. And my question is, why do devotees still bother to travel there, to purchase tickets, to stand in the line, to drink bottled water, and do all kinds of things to be there physically? Why do they bother? Hare Krishna.
Because we are yet to recognize the Vrindavan within us. We still haven't realized it fully. I mean, we're not at the level of Prabhupada, who always carried Vrindavan in his heart, in his mind, in his very soul, basically. So till the time we don't reach that level, it is important for us to go to Vrindavan, to Mayapur, to Jagannath Puri, these holy places, so that spiritually we can be recharged and we can carry on our preaching activities in whatever part of the world we are in. Hopefully one day we can be at that level where Srila Prabhupada is, where our great acharyas are, where it doesn't matter so much to us where we are. And yet, even at that stage, Prabhupada always said, even when he was here in New York, he said, he's known to have said that, I'm here, but my mind is in Vrindavan. So even if you become at that level as such an exalted devotee as how Srila Prabhupada is, you still want to go to Vrindavan, just because we can absorb ourselves more easily in the pastimes, in the beauty, in the devotion, have association of self-realized souls over there, the Vrajvasis. So at whatever stage of life we may be, a stage of consciousness most important, we should always want to go to Vrindavan.
Thank you. We're going to tell our employer, I'm here, but my mind is in Vrindavan.
Yeah, sure. It's supposed to be that way.
Erin has her hand raised.
Yes, Erin.
Aaron.
Hare Krishna, Nirvika Devi. Thank you so much for this beautiful class. I love the quote you shared about the 5 places, or the 5 things you need to stay in a place. I was wondering if you could just share a bit more about the sense of shame and why you would want a sense of shame in where you stay, where you live.
So a sense of shame means that basically people have culture. Should stay in a place where there is some sort of culture, some sort of shame in your attire, in your speech. If you're shameless, you will speak with anyone, anything, you'll speak with them just bluntly in a rude way. That's not the way how cultured person is supposed to behave. So shame actually means that, yes, we are supposed to have a sense of understanding of, okay, these are seniors, these are other people out there, a way in which I carry myself. So that's what it means. That's what Chanakya Pandit says when he means a sense of shame. It's more like having a proper sense of culture. That's what it actually means.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
When we say shame here, it's like a very negative thing to the Western mind. So yeah.
Yeah, I understand. Even when I read, I was like, sense of shame, that's quite a strong thing to say. But this is what he actually means, a place where there's culture, understanding. It's a higher sense of understanding, basically.
Maybe it's more like modesty.
Modesty, yes. Yeah, maybe that's a better way to put it.
Humility.
I was wondering if the word refinement might be good here. We want to have a sense of refinement.
Yeah, that is also, the refinement is more like even like beyond, like, yeah, culture is supposed to actually give you refinement. So the words that I've used over, I've directly picked it up from the text, So, but yeah, with time, usage of words can be better. Refinement is, I guess, even a much more higher thing. You get more fine-tuned and refined. That's like an ongoing process. So that's also a good thing to actually keep in mind.
Yeah, Bhakti Refinery. Nirvika, can you tell us the 5 reasons to stay in a place? Devotees want to hear them again.
So we should, those are the means of livelihood. The place where we stay, we should have a means of livelihood in that place. Security, sense of shame, refinement, culture, as you might call it, courtesy, and philanthropy.
What about devotional service?
So this is in general. If you actually have a good sense of culture and courtesy, then the culture is supposed to bring about some sort of religious sentiment in your life. It may be whatever religion you may follow, but by culture it means if you're a man, if you're in this human form of life, you have to have some culture, and you are supposed to follow some path of religion which takes you ultimately to understanding God. So devotional service can be considered as part of culture also. You are supposed to have a sense of shame when you consider higher entities like demigods or God. You're supposed to bow down to them or have respect for them, courtesy towards them, towards those who are worshipping them. So this is all part of the whole thing which imbibes that we're supposed to have some sense of understanding of higher beings, demigods, God, whoever you may call it in any religion.
So in other words, devotional services underlying all these things, sense of culture, security.
It is supposed to be
courage,
underlining all these things. It is supposed to be underlining all these things. And that's why, that's why Prabhupada also wanted to establish not just normal Varnashram, he wanted to establish Deva Varnashram.
Nice. And so the devotees in the chat say sense of culture, security, courage, philanthropy, and what else? The shame one?
Courtesy and a means of livelihood, security.
Okay.
Means of livelihood, security, philanthropy, courtesy, and sense of shame or culture.
Sense of
shame.
shame.
In New York, there's no shame. People will be walking, like you can just see it. No one will shame you for walking around naked, smoking a joint everywhere. Like there's no shame.
Okay, we'll end our class here. Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.
Nirvika Devi ki jai. Cameras on, please. Bruce Prabhu, drive safely. Aaron,
By His grace, we can cross the ocean and obtain the mercy of Krishna. My only wish is to have my consciousness purified
from his lotus mouth. Hare Krishna. It was nice seeing you all, dear devotees. Have a wonderful day. Gary, Vrindavan, to your workplace. Hare Krishna.